Hi, we're going to look at a script written by our 16-year-old apprentice who's had 2 or 3 weeks of experience of KBL, and we've set an assignment which was, well, I thought quite challenging, which was to write a human reaction time script, which was to test people's reactions to clicking buttons and to doing some simple maths and doing some simple recognition on screens. The only requirements that we set beyond that were that we wanted to be able to dynamically set any questions that were asked, and we wanted to retain the scores of the contestants or the people who used the script. So that was quite a tough assignment, and it's designed to use quite a lot of the facilities that you need to have in the KBL language. So this is what our lad came up with. It's a script of, I don't know, must be something over a couple of 100 lines long now, but let's see what happens when we run it. I don't expect it to be perfect, but let's just see what he's managed to achieve. So let's run. Would you like to play the human benchmark, yes or no? Well, let's say yes, shall we? Select the difficulty for the reactions test, easy, medium or hard. I think I'm going to set hard. I'm going to fall on my face, I know it. Hard. Go. Right, I've selected hard. I'm waiting for a reaction, so I've got to click that. Okay, and then I've got a maths question. 100 plus 50. I'm going to put in 112 and see what happens. I got it wrong. Okay, let's put the right answer in. So far so good. I'm waiting again. My reaction time has been tested. Click me. And here I've got to look at a screen and I'm asked to memorize the image. So we're driving in a car, we're looking down the road, got the sun setting in the distance. Right, I think I've memorized as much as I need to on that. Go. Answer the questions below. What animal is on the first sign? It was a deer. So I'm going to type in deer. Hope I got that right. Ha! You thought it was over. Nope. Well, now it is. Okay. Right, my reaction times. So the elapsed time for those questions was 1 minute and 81 seconds. Okay. My name, Peter. Right, and he's recorded my reaction times in the scorecard. Oh, well, that's great. That's very impressive. So I think we're done here. Would I like to play again? Well, I'd love to play again, but I think for brevity, probably a good time to stop. So no. Okay, so we've run that script. It's not your typical data analysis script that you use in the office, but it demonstrates some of the programmatic features of the KBL language. We have got some if statements, so that's conditional logic. We've got some go-tos. We are reading and writing to files. We are using the data within those files. We're using a wait function to halt the code for a few seconds. We're using a random function to randomly pick questions. We're using input and output screens. So that is a fair smattering of functionality within a script for a relatively tricky assignment. So I'm well impressed with that. But I hope that just gives some of the ideas. Some ideas for what you might be able to do with KBL, and bearing in mind that this KSE, the KBL Studio Express, is not primarily for application building, it is for IT task fulfillment with limited application ability. So what else can we do before we say cheerio? I think let's have a look see what's in the data stores. We've got main there, so he's got some data in main. He's got nothing in store. Has he got any name? He's got some named tables. Right, so those are the questions that were read from the file. So that means that we can add further questions and answers, which is great. He's got some descriptions that accompany the definition of the easiness or hardness of the questions. That's great. What else have we got in here? We've got the questions, we've got temporary, top 3, top 5. Okay, I can see that there's a top 5. I don't think there's anything in there of note at the moment. A little bit more work to be done. And parameters. Oh, we've used a lot of parameters. Questions, answers, dates, username, excuse me, and that's fantastic. Now what I would say, this is quite a long script, and I can see that we've actually got parameters called questions 1 to 8. We've got some input screens which are quite long. I would suggest that this could be made quite a lot more generic. I would suggest that with a little bit of work we could probably cut down the lines in this script down by about a third of what's there. So I think I'll return this script with a mark of A or A star, but I'll ask that it's looked at again and come back with perhaps some better documentation in the script, and perhaps cut down the amount of code, try and be a bit more generic about it. I'm very pleased to see the use of sections in here. So you can create sections in your code so to navigate around. So he's used that feature. So that's great. I'm pleased with that. So another example of what you can do with KBL again. Well, I'll say goodbye and keep looking at our videos. Thank you very much. This reaction time script was written by a Kegsoft apprentice software technician after about 3 weeks exposure to the KBL language with minimal supervision. We were actually astonished how quickly he got to grips with the basics of KBL, and what a good job he did within such a short space of time.